Okay, so my new boots came in today. They're Alpinestar Belize boots. I guess they consider them like an enduro boot. Give you a quick rundown. I'm going to do this review as a guy that doesn't really have a lot of experience with MX boots or enduro boots. When I was a kid and we rode, we rode up and down the alleys and the railroad tracks, and there's an old dump we used to ride on, so we always wore our work boots. But my son and I got back into riding about 5 years ago. Long story short, he moved up finally to a CR 125, and we started going to a local, well, somewhat local, it's about an hour from us, MX track, and they require that you have MX boots to ride there, which rightfully so. So I made my son get them and get used to them. We tried a cheaper pair at first, and it was like having two casts on your leg. I tried them on, there was just no flexibility. You couldn't even shift the gears. And MX boots are supposed to be tight, and they have a purpose, and that's to protect your ankles and your legs. So anyhow, they didn't work out. So we ended up investing into a set of Alpinestar Tech 7s. And after a few rides, he had them on. It definitely still takes some getting used to, but they have a hinge type setup on them. So he was able to get used to them after a couple rides. He's like, I don't even know the difference anymore. And he was fighting them, fighting me at first about wearing them, but now he loves them. So anyhow, I'm hoping I have good luck with these Belize, but I just want to let you know I'm not the guy that's had 20 different pairs of boots. I'm a guy that's new to these, so in a sense that might help people out that are first-time boot owners. So I'm going to go ahead and get these unboxed. Alright, so that's our first look at these. So far, so good. This is, I think I might have mentioned, this is the lower design. Comes up about halfway up your calf. But it's still got the ankle protection, the shin protection, and that's, for the type of riding I do, that's what I was looking for. And being on an older quad like I have, when you're sitting on it, your pretty much knees are bent at a 90-degree angle, so I need something where I got a little bit more movement. And most of the riding I do is trail riding. We belong to a local club around here, so again, mostly trail riding through the woods kind of stuff. So full MX boots all the way, just under my knee, with the type of quad I ride, unfortunately wouldn't work for me. So that's why I decided to give these a try. So we'll see how that works out. Yeah, so far they look pretty good. They're made of leather and suede is basically the two components they're made out of. These buckles are replaceable from what I read, so if one of those break on you, you can always replace them. So far so good. I'm going to try them on and see if they fit. One other feature I want to point out real quick before I try these on. One of the main reasons why I went with the Alpinestars, these Belize, because they have the same hinge system my son's Tech 7s have. They call it a Flexi blade hinge system, and that's this right here. And basically that allows you some flexibility, which a lot of lower end MX boots aren't going to have a hinge system like that. There is other brands that have their own hinge system, but like I mentioned about my son's first boots, the less expensive boots, they didn't have anything like that, and maybe they would have broken after a while, but it actually made riding more dangerous to me because you couldn't even shift properly. But anyhow, with this hinge system, it seems to make a huge difference. Okay, so I got these on. First impressions are good. They fit nice. The hasps work great. These are a size 9. I'm actually like about an 8.5 in work boots. Fortunately, these don't come in half sizes, so I went up a size to a 9. There's definitely a little bit of play in them. What I would expect if I bought a pair of work boots that were a size 9. So I would say that these are true to fit. So in other words, if you're a size 9, you would buy a size 9. If you're a size 10, you'd buy a size 10. Unfortunately, if you're like me and you're a half size, definitely want to go up a size. But they're, they're not like they're way, way, way too big. So yeah, so first impressions, they feel good. Let's see if I can get that hinge system on there. Hopefully you can see that. They feel good right out of the box. I don't feel restricted. They're definitely more restricted than a pair of broken-in work boots. But that's the point. They're here to protect your ankle, your shins. So anyhow, first impressions are good. Obviously want to get on the quad and take them out and put a little bit of time on them, and then I'll give you my final thoughts. Alright, so I got some ride time on these now. Not a ton. I did a little bit of riding around our property back here. Got about 4 acres. Not major, but enough to play around a little bit. So anyway, I like the boots. I don't feel restricted in them. Plenty of play as far as movement. I definitely feel a lot better wearing these than I do a pair of sneakers or work boots. And so far I'm impressed with them. They definitely fit, I would say, true to size, like I mentioned earlier. So if you're a size 9, get a 9, 10, get a 10. If you're a half size, I would go up a size. That's what I did. There's a little bit of wiggle room in them, but that's to be expected when you went up half a size. But they're not enormous on me by any means. So I definitely give them a thumbs up. Time will tell how well they hold up. But they're Alpinestars. They got a good reputation. I think the kind of riding I do, I think they'll last me quite a while. So anyhow, they definitely come recommended. And yeah, that's it. Hope it helped.